Good evening, everyone. Picture this, a city square bathed in the warm orange glow of a setting sun. The kind of evening where everything feels just right. Streetlights flicker to life, casting soft pools of golden light across cobblestone paths. Vendors are packing up their carts, but the hum of conversation and laughter fills the air. It's alive with energy, folks. And then there's Marcus. Marcus is a street musician who's been playing his weathered guitar for hours now. His hands, calloused from years of strumming chords that seem to echo straight into your soul. He's got an old battered guitar slung across his lap. It's wood scratched and worn like it's seen more than its fair share of life's ups and downs. Next to him lies an open guitar case lined with faded velvet, holding a small cardboard sign that reads, "Raising money for children's charity." People pass by, dropping coins or crumpled bills into the case. They nod along to his melodies, soulful tunes that cut through the noise of the bustling square like a knife through butter. Some even stop to listen, swaying slightly as if they've forgotten about the world around them. There's something about Marcus's music. It's not flashy or loud, but it's real. You can feel the weight behind every note, the passion driving each chord. But here's the thing, unbeknownst to everyone gathered, this peaceful night is about to take a dramatic turn. Because sometimes, life throws you curveballs when you least expect them. What happens next? Well, let me tell you, it's going to change everything. Let me set the scene for you again. The city square is still buzzing with life, golden hour fading into soft lamplight. Marcus, our street musician, continues to play his soulful melodies on that battered guitar of his. His hands move deftly across the strings, creating music so heartfelt it feels like every note has a story behind it. People toss coins into his open case, smiling and nodding along as they pass by. But then, something changes. The tranquil hum of the evening is shattered by the roar of motorcycle engines cutting through the air. 6 bikers thunder into the square, their presence immediate and overwhelming. Their leather jackets are adorned with menacing patches, skulls, flames, words that scream trouble. They swagger around like they own the place, laughing loudly and cracking crude jokes that make even the vendors uneasy. John Cena, who had been standing quietly among the crowd, immediately senses something's off. These guys aren't here for fun. They're here to disrupt. And sure enough, their leader, a tall, bearded man with a cruel smirk, steps forward. He stops just a few feet away from Marcus, casting a long shadow over him. "Hey buddy," the leader says, his voice dripping with mockery. "You think this is your stage? You think anyone here actually cares about your little songs?" Marcus ignores him, at least at first. His fingers keep strumming, refusing to let fear take control. But the tension in the air is thick. You can practically feel it. The crowd shifts uncomfortably, unsure of what's about to happen next. Will Marcus back down? Or will this escalate further? Let's dive back into the story. The leader of the bikers, this tall, bearded man with a cruel smirk, is now standing just inches away from Marcus. His shadow falls over Marcus like a storm cloud about to burst. "Hey buddy," the leader sneers, his voice dripping with mockery. "You think this is your stage? You think anyone here actually cares about your little songs?" Now, Marcus doesn't respond immediately. His fingers keep strumming, refusing to let fear dictate his actions. But the bikers aren't satisfied. One of them, a stocky guy with a chain around his neck, kicks the guitar case, scattering coins and bills across the pavement. Another biker, a wiry man with tattoos crawling up his neck, snatches Marcus's guitar and slams it against the ground, leaving behind only splinters. Marcus clenches his fists but stays calm. "I'm not leaving," he says firmly. The leader's smirk twists into rage. "We'll see about that." The tension in the air is so thick you could cut it with a knife. People in the crowd exchange nervous glances, unsure of what's going to happen next. Will Marcus back down? Or will this escalate further? Now let me tell you, this is where things get real. The leader of the bikers, his face twisted with rage, raises his fist to strike Marcus. It's a moment frozen in time. The crowd holds its breath, unsure if anyone will step in. But then, something amazing happens. A hand shoots out like steel, gripping the biker's wrist mid-swing. Everyone freezes. And when they turn to see who has intervened, there he is, John Cena. Standing tall and unbreakable, his presence commands respect. He glares at the biker, his voice calm yet commanding, "That's enough." The biker tries to pull free, but Cena's grip doesn't falter. It's like an iron vice. Realizing who they're dealing with, one of the younger bikers gasps, "That's John Cena." The leader laughs nervously, trying to dismiss the situation. "Wrestling tricks don't work here, buddy." Cena's expression hardens. "Let's find out." You can feel the energy shift in the square. The crowd starts whispering excitedly, their fear replaced by hope. Marcus watches silently, clutching the remnants of his shattered guitar. Could this be the turning point? Now, let's get back to the action. The leader of the bikers, his face red with anger, steps forward, cracking his knuckles. He points a finger at John Cena and growls, "All right, tough guy. Let's see how you handle me." The first biker charges like a bull, his heavy boots thudding against the cobblestones as he swings a punch straight for John's head. But here's the thing about John Cena, he doesn't just react, he anticipates. With effortless precision, he sidesteps the blow, catching the biker's arm mid-swing. In one fluid motion, he twists it behind the man's back and hoists him off his feet. A loud thud echoes through the square as John slams him onto the ground with a powerful attitude adjustment. The crowd gasps, their fear turning into shocked admiration. Before they can even process what just happened, another biker rushes in. This one's faster, aiming a wild swing at John's torso. But John ducks under the blow, grabbing the man by the waist and executing a flawless suplex. The biker lands hard on the pavement, groaning in pain as he clutches his back. The remaining bikers hesitate for a moment, clearly shocked by John's speed and strength. Their confidence wavers, but not for long. One of them shouts, "Don't just stand there. Get him." Two more charge at once, trying to overwhelm John with sheer force. John takes a step back, analyzing their movements. As the first one lunges, John sidesteps again, catching the man by the arm and spinning him into the second attacker. The two collide and fall in a heap, their grunts of pain blending with the sound of laughter from the now emboldened crowd. Another biker tries to sneak up behind John, raising a heavy chain and swinging it toward his back. But John turns just in time, catching the chain with both hands. He yanks it out of the biker's grasp, tossing it aside before stepping forward to deliver a well-placed shoulder tackle that sends the man crashing into a nearby trash can. The impact is loud, and the trash can topples over, spilling its contents onto the pavement. The leader, now visibly angry, steps forward, cracking his knuckles again. "All right, tough guy," he snarls. "Let's see how you handle me." Now, let's get back to the action. The leader of the bikers, his face red with anger, steps forward, cracking his knuckles. He points a finger at John Cena and growls, "All right, tough guy. Let's see how you handle me." The leader lunges at John with a flurry of punches, but John blocks each one with precision. His movements are calculated and efficient, like a well-oiled machine. When the leader tries to grab him, John counters with a spinning back elbow that catches him square in the jaw, sending him staggering backward. John doesn't let up. He moves in quickly, grabbing the leader by the collar and delivering his signature five-knuckle shuffle, a powerful forearm strike that drops the man to his knees. The leader groans, clutching his face as John towers over him. Had enough? John asks, his voice calm but firm. The leader doesn't respond, too dazed to form words. The remaining bikers, seeing their leader defeated and their group scattered, begin to back away cautiously. One of them helps the leader to his feet, and the group retreats toward their motorcycles, stumbling away into the night. As the bikers roar away, the leader casts one last angry glance at John before disappearing into the distance. The square is left in stunned silence, the tension slowly giving way to relief. People exchange glances, unsure of what just happened but certain of one thing: something extraordinary had unfolded right before their eyes. Let's pick up where we left off. The square is alive again, but this time, it's not with fear or tension. It's with hope. As the defeated bikers roar away into the night, their noise fading into the distance, John Cena turns back to Marcus, who's still standing near the remnants of his shattered guitar. John walks over, bends down, and starts picking up the scattered pieces of wood and strings. "I'm sorry about your guitar," he says, his voice softening. "Are you all right?" Marcus nods slowly, his voice quiet but steady. "Thanks to you. I didn't think anyone would step in." John places a hand on Marcus's shoulder, his touch firm yet reassuring. "You stood your ground when it mattered. That takes courage." The crowd, which had been watching in stunned silence, begins to clap and cheer. People step forward, helping Marcus gather his scattered money and placing it back into the open guitar case. Someone shouts out, "Let's get him a new guitar." The suggestion sparks enthusiasm, and within moments, people are collecting donations on the spot. A young woman approaches, holding out her phone. "I got the whole thing on video," she says excitedly. "The way you took them down, it was incredible. People need to see this." But John shakes his head slightly. "It's not about me," he says firmly. "What matters is him and what he's doing here. Share his story." Marcus gives a small, grateful nod but doesn't say anything. His focus shifts to the growing pile of donations being gathered for him. For the first time that evening, a flicker of hope lights up his tired eyes. Then, something amazing happens. A local shop owner pushes through the crowd, holding a brand new acoustic guitar. "I saw what happened," the man says warmly. "Take this, it's on the house." Marcus's hands tremble as he accepts the guitar, his voice thick with emotion. "Thank you," he manages to say, his words barely above a whisper. He adjusts the strap, testing the strings. The familiar sound fills the square once more. The crowd erupts into applause, their cheers echoing through the evening air. As Marcus begins to play again, the energy of the square shifts entirely. What had been a scene of fear and tension just moments ago transforms into a celebration of resilience and unity. John stands back, blending into the background, watching as Marcus reclaims his space with every note he plays. The music feels stronger now, bolstered by the support of the crowd and the unbroken spirit of the man holding the guitar. Let's keep rolling with the story. As Marcus begins to play again, this time on his brand new guitar, the square transforms into something magical. The music flows through the air like a bomb, soothing the lingering tension and replacing it with pure joy. Families gather closer, some dancing hand in hand, while couples sway gently under the soft glow of streetlights. Children laugh and clap along, their innocence shining brighter than ever. The melody Marcus plays is different now. It's not just soulful, it's triumphant. Each note feels like a declaration: we won't be silenced. His fingers glide across the strings with renewed confidence, every chord resonating deeper than before. This isn't just about him anymore. This is about everyone who stood by him tonight. The crowd senses it too. They cheer louder, tossing more donations into the open guitar case until it overflows. John Cena stays on the edges of the square, blending into the background but keeping a watchful eye. He scans the perimeter, ensuring the bikers don't return. But even he can't help but smile as he watches the scene unfold. For the first time that night, the square feels safe again, alive with laughter, music, and unity. A little boy steps forward, clutching a crumpled dollar bill in his tiny fist. He tugs at John's sleeve, looking up with wide eyes. "For the guitar guy," he says shyly, holding out the money. John kneels down, smiling warmly as he takes the bill and hands it to Marcus. The musician accepts it with a nod, his gratitude shining through. But it doesn't stop there. More people approach, some dropping coins, others sharing words of encouragement. A middle-aged woman clasps her hands together, tears glistening in her eyes. "You didn't just protect him," she tells John, her voice trembling. "You reminded us all that there are still good people in this world." John nods humbly, deflecting the praise. "Tonight wasn't just me," he says softly. "Everyone here played a part. Let's keep going." As the night deepens, the energy in the square begins to wind down, but not before one last meaningful moment unfolds. Marcus, still holding his new guitar, approaches John Cena with a look of quiet determination on his face. His steps are steady, his posture strong. This man has been through a lot tonight, but he's far from broken. "Wait," Marcus says, his voice calm but filled with emotion. "Before you go, I need to ask something." John turns to face him, his expression patient. "What is it?" Marcus hesitates for just a second, then asks the question that's clearly been weighing on his mind. "Why did you step in? You didn't know me. You could have walked away. Why risk yourself for someone like me?" John doesn't answer right away. He looks at Marcus, not just at his tired eyes or calloused hands, but at the strength behind them. Finally he speaks, his voice firm yet gentle. "Because someone needed to. If we don't stand up for each other, who will?" It's a simple answer, but it hits hard. Marcus nods slowly, as if letting the words sink in. Then, after a pause, he extends his hand. "Thank you," he says, his voice thick with gratitude. "For everything." John shakes his hand, his grip firm and reassuring. "You're the one who deserves thanks. You stood your ground when it mattered most. That takes real courage." As they release their handshake, Marcus glances down at his guitar, running his fingers lightly over its smooth surface. "I won't forget this night," he says softly. "And I won't stop playing, no matter what happens next." John gives him a small, approving nod. "Good. Don't ever let anyone silence your music." With that, John steps back, blending into the edges of the square once more. The crowd has thinned out now, but those who remain continue to thank John as he passes by. An older woman clasps his arm, tears glistening in her eyes. "You reminded us all that there's still good in this world," she says. "Thank you." John smiles humbly, deflecting the praise. "Tonight wasn't just about me. Everyone here played a part." Let's wrap this story up with a powerful finish. As dawn breaks over the city, sunlight spills softly across the now empty square. The cobblestones glisten faintly from the night's earlier chaos, and the air feels lighter, almost as if the events of last night have cleansed it. Marcus walks home alone, his new guitar slung carefully over his shoulder. His steps are slower now, weighed down not by exhaustion but by reflection. The evening replays in his mind, the fear when the bikers arrived, the defiance that kept him rooted to his spot, and the moment John Cena stepped in. But more than anything, he remembers the crowd stepping forward after the fight was over. Their cheers, their donations, their unity. It wasn't just about saving him, it was about standing together against hate. Meanwhile, Videos of the confrontation go viral online within hours. Clips show John Cena dismantling the bikers one by one, his calm yet commanding presence radiating strength. Comment sections explode with praise. Real hero, standing up for what's right. This is what we need more of. But John insists the focus should remain on Marcus. In interviews, he deflects attention back to the musician's courage. It's easy to walk away, John says humbly. But Marcus didn't. That takes real bravery. For Marcus, the experience becomes a turning point. He starts receiving messages from people all over the world. Parents thanking him for reminding them why supporting charities matters. Kids saying they want to be like him when they grow up. Even local businesses rally behind him, offering free venues for upcoming performances and spreading awareness about his cause. As Marcus prepares for the charity event mentioned on the flyer he gave John, he reflects on how much has changed because of one night. This isn't just my victory, he tells himself. It belongs to everyone who stood with me. And somewhere far away, John Cena disappears into the morning light, ready for whatever comes next. Though he doesn't seek recognition, he knows moments like these ripple outward, inspiring others to stand firm in the face of injustice. So here's the question for you, dear listener. What would you have done? Would you have walked away? Or would you have stood your ground, no matter the odds?
And that's where our story ends. What did you think of this story? Share your emotions in the comments below. We'd love to know what you remember most. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more unforgettable stories. And if you are in the mood for another exciting story, check out our next video. It's waiting for you. Until then, stay curious, get inspired, and keep exploring the stories that make life extraordinary. See you in the next one.